First thing I heard was Eugene on the radio.
Anybody there? I heard one hell of a cacophonous crash. Everything hunky-dunky on your end?
Next, I heard the walkers. I needed a weapon. Fast.
What's up, everybody? Drama here with another review, this time for The Walking Dead Onslaught, the lesser known and probably less good Walking Dead game that came out for VR in the last year. The other being Saints and Sinners, which for most people will probably be a better fit. That said, there's a lot to like and a lot to dislike regarding The Walking Dead Onslaught, and we'll get into that with the rest of the video. So as you may have noticed in the open, the game is voice acted by Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon on The Walking Dead. Also from the show, lending their likenesses and voices are Josh McDermott, Eugene, and Melissa McBride, who plays Carol. Rick and Michonne are in it, and the character models look like the characters from the TV show. However, the actors did not lend their voices to the game. The voice acting I found to be really well done. But with that said, you're not going to get a ton of it, as most of it is relegated to the story mode, which makes sense, although there is certainly voice acting in the scavenging mode and just in the, what I guess you would call the menu area, which we're sitting in now. The story mode will take you 2.5 to 3 hours, probably, if you play on Veteran, which you do have to play on every chapter to get the platinum, but you can go back to any chapter at any time if you want to do it on easy. First thing is, to get the story mode, you have to do the scavenging mode and get people to join Alexandria. It does happen automatically as you scavenge. As long as you bring in enough food, new people join. So that's interesting, but scavenging mode will open up new buildings that you can build, which give you perks, and new areas that you can go through. The buildings I thought were kind of neat, but they really do nothing other than give you perks, so it's not like you're going to get to walk into them or something. The areas, while they do vary a bit in design, I found to all be pretty similar, with the biggest difference being the number and types of zombies, as there are armored zombies later in the game that are wearing like riot gear, and spike zombies, so like zombies that are covered in plate metal and spikes, which is interesting, and they're a pain in the butt, but it does add a little bit of variety to the game, as they're harder to kill, and certain weapons will do basically nothing to them. That said, they all act the same. So, it's a zombie game, right? It's not special. Zombies aren't special. It's not Left 4 Dead or something like that. The scavenging sections, I'm not grabbing most of the stuff in this just because I already have everything, or nearly everything by this point when I took the video. But there's a lot of boxes and buckets and other things, lunch pails, coolers that you can open up. I wouldn't call it addictive so much as reasonably well done, in that, hey, I wanted new stuff. I want a new building to give me a better perk. I want new things so I can have better weapons, so I can kill the zombies easier. Of course, the problem is there's only 2 weapons in the game that are really worth having. And the crossbow is not one of them. It's the fireman's axe and the hammer. You get the hammer pretty early on in the game, and once you upgrade it to max, it's, arguably the second best weapon in the game, without really any concern, because it works against armored zombies, and it allows you to do some splash damage too, as well as stun the enemies. The axe, on the other hand, works super well against armored zombies, and honestly, it allows for the stun as well and increased range. So after that, none of the other weapons really are worth using. I'm just kind of rolling through them in the video just so you get an idea of what exists. The guns are all useless. There's like 2 times in story mode where I used guns, because I felt like it would just be simpler because there was a large group of zombies. But ultimately, I mean, 95% or maybe more of the game, you'll be using melee weapons because it's just much, much easier to kill the zombies with the melee weapon. I guess that fits in the story of the show and the game and the books, but still, it was kind of disappointing, especially when iconic melee weapons, specifically Michonne's samurai sword, or her katana. It's not actually Michonne's in the game, it's just a samurai sword, a katana, but whatever. You can pretend it's Michonne's. Kind of sucks. It's not nearly as good as the axe, or the battle axe for that matter, which was really a shame, I thought. It was kind of a bummer. Same thing with Rick's revolver. Again, is it actually Rick's revolver? Probably not, but it looks the same. Looks like the same kind of gun. So you would expect, hey, that's a big thing. This should be super powerful, and it just isn't. So really, axe and hammer. Anything else, doesn't matter. Use it if you think it's fun, but don't expect much from it. That said, I said 2.5 to 3 hours for the story mode. You're probably going to spend 3.5 to 5 hours in scavenging mode. And it does get kind of dull. Because you're running the same missions over and over and over again. Which is kind of unfortunate. I get it, but it didn't become harder to find gear and food and all this things, so you could argue it was done poorly. I don't know how fun that would have been, but it's a different choice than was made in Saints and Sinners, let's put it that way. Really, other than that, there was a few situations where I ran into some pretty notable glitches. The game effectively froze my character on 2 occasions, leading to my only 1 death, because it lasted for about a minute and the zombies got me. The other time it lasted about 30 seconds and I was able to survive. But I couldn't do anything. If you can't do anything, well, that sucks, because the game kept going, but my character wouldn't move at all. Which sucked. There were also some minor glitches where zombies would disappear, which is just weird. It wasn't a big deal, but it was strange. Or where the zombies would turn into a ball and bounce around the map. Very strange. Didn't have any impact other than leading to some odd sounds. Easy plat. Nothing's missable. Again, 6 to 8 hours, depending on your speed. Took me probably 7-ish. I did it over a weekend, so I'm not entirely sure how long it took, but not terribly long. Pretty simple, kind of grindy. Overall, not a great game. I'm not going to say it was bad. I enjoyed my time with it. I truly did, but it was definitely not a great game. It was decent, little arcadey, fun zombie killer. Basically, is what it came down to. Is one I'd rent or wait till it's on sale. I have heard complaints on the control scheme. I don't know if those were updated, if the controls were updated since those complaints came out, or people just didn't understand how to change the controls. I did think the control scheme was terrible at first, and then I realized that kind of hidden in a menu, you can go and make it the exact same control scheme that's in Saints and Sinners. So, yeah. The control scheme's fine. The controls work just fine. I didn't have any problem with that other than, again, the 2 times that I couldn't move at all, which was a glitch and not a feature. Anyway, this kind of got long-winded, especially considered I was going to make it a short one. Overall, fun game, worth playing, not worth the price that it is normally listed for. Definitely wait for a sale or rent it. Out now, Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners Onslaught. Peace!